Okay, sculpture class, now we're going to learn how to join cardboard together. Okay, ideally you would have a hot glue gun. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to send those home with you, so if you have one at home and you're allowed to use it, great. If not, I'm going to go through a couple of other methods, but first we're going to start off with the hot glue gun just for safety. Okay, the nozzle of a hot glue gun is extremely hot. It's to melt the glue, and then the glue that comes out is also really hot. If you get some on your finger, you want to be sure to not rub your fingers together, because all you're going to do is burn another part of your finger. So you don't want to do that. You want to run and stick your finger underneath the tap. Okay, when you apply, you want to work on a surface on paper, because you can see it's already starting to drop a little bit. The glue adheres to a lot of different surfaces, so this I can just ball up and throw away. You don't want it to stick onto home surfaces, so you want to be sure you're working on top of paper. Okay, I'm going to join this piece onto here, the little thing that I've already started to construct. It's called a glue gun because it's got the trigger, and you simply squeeze the trigger and a bead of glue will start to come out. Now as you get towards the end, you stop, release the trigger, and wipe. You want to wipe so that you don't create a string, and then keep the stand on there. That helps so you can set it on, and then you apply to wherever it is that you want it to apply, putting down a little bit of pressure. Now it might take a little while before it sets. Now if the glue oozes out, now I didn't put on too terribly much, but if it does, you can take a stick and wipe it while it's wet, or another piece of cardboard just to kind of clean that glue up so it's not showing everywhere. So you can clean up your seams a little bit with cardboard or a stick. Okay, we're going to leave that there to sit, and I'm going to review again. When you are putting on hot glue, you apply the glue and then nozzle down and wipe. That'll help to eliminate any kind of strings. If you don't do that, if you apply the glue, release pressure, you're going to get strings. Can you guys see that string that's attached there? Now it depends. Some strings are worse than others. So using hot glue is fast, it's effective, it's strong, it's easy, it's a little bit dangerous, but it would be the way that we would be constructing our work. Okay, I'm going to move a little closer onto the surface. If you don't have that and you only have tapes, now I did not give you, I think I gave you a roll of regular tape, but you can use packaging tape, masking tape, duct tape, decorative tapes, electrical tape. Use whatever tape you have. I know that I gave you all an Elmer's glue so that you're also able to use that to put things together. Okay, so we're going to look at joining a piece onto here. Actually, I'm going to work a little bit bigger. I'm going to join a piece onto here. So I want this to fit on this corner. I've hot glued this together already, but I want this to join on this corner, and we're going to pretend I don't have hot glue. So I'm going to use one of my tapes. Any one of them would work. And I'm not going to make it super strong right now. Just going to put tape on the edge. See, you can't just do one piece of tape. You need a minimum of two, because you can see it's not going to hold. You need a minimum of 2 pieces. And now it is not secured, but it's going to hold in place. So what I can do now is I can take the Elmer's, and I can put Elmer's on the back side of here, then pull it back up into place and put another bead on there, and it will hold, and the Elmer's will hold it in place. The Elmer's is going to be just as strong as the hot glue. It just isn't as fast. Now let's just say that that's dried, and we want to secure it a little bit better, get rid of this ugly seam as well as the tape that's holding it into place. Okay, the Elmer's is holding it, so I could peel off the tape, but if you want to leave the tape on, I'm going to show you a way to hide it. And another way to join. I gave you all a roll of wet tape, and you want to keep it on this roll securely, because as you unpeel it, you're going to find that the paper curls. You don't want to take off more than you need. So I'm just going to cut off a little piece, what I think I need. I'm holding it so it won't unfurl. And I'm going to put the tape back in place to hold it. To make this tab like that, is you take a piece of tape, you fold it back onto itself a little bit, so that now when you put it down, there's that tab that makes it easier to pull up the tape. So you want to keep it secured. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a big mess of tape everywhere that isn't fun. To use wet tape, you need to have water. And you can either use an old sponge maybe that Mama let you use, or you can use paper towels. So you're going to take paper towel. I'm going to use paper towel on this one. You take the paper towel, you get it wet, you squeeze out the excess water. Now I've left quite a lot in there. You can see I can squeeze out quite a generous amount more. You need to have quite a lot of water on there so that your tape gets saturated and it's easier to apply, but you don't want it dripping wet. Okay, you also want to put down a surface to work on because wet tape is sticky. Okay, so I've got my wet paper towel and I'm activating the adhesive on the shiny side. And I'm now going to apply it. I'm going to apply it on one side first. And then I am going to fold it around to the back side. Okay, you want to make sure that you get your glue wet enough so that you have time to play with it, and it also just makes for a cleaner seam. If it's hanging over the side a little bit, you can just take some scissors and cut it off later. Okay, after wet tape, we're going to look at another method using sticks. Okay, I gave you some stir sticks and a bag of little square sticks, but you may also have toothpicks at home, or I happen to have some bamboo skewers, so you can use anything that you have to make this work. So you simply take the stick, and you have to go in the corrugated side. So you slide it in, and then you can slide in another piece, and you can see how it'll hold into place. What you want to be sure of, though, is to glue it first, because if you put the glue on there and then you slide it in, it will stay on. So you want to add a little bit of glue to the ends before you put it in, and then you can even touch up a little glue if you want to. So you can use sticks. Both of these work the same. You need a thicker stick. Toothpicks may or may not work. It'll probably work on a thinner cardboard, but you can see these really are quite secure. It'll work on a thinner cardboard, but not so much a thicker cardboard. So sticks are an option for you. And then lastly, we're going to learn how to join with a hole. You need to have some kind of something that V's. I found these needle nose pliers. So something that V's that you can make a hole in between, and you need something sharp. Okay, I have a Phillips screwdriver that works really, really well, and I also have an awl. I prefer not to use the awl because it's too sharp. It's dangerous. I might hurt myself, number one. And number two, if I jab through this cardboard onto my surface, I'm going to chip my table or put a hole in a wooden table, and that won't go over big with Mom and Dad. So you want to stick with something that's a little safer, like a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, you decide where you want the hole is, and you just start drilling, twisting back and forth. And I bust through that top layer pretty easily, and I can see that it's burrowing through. I can see that it's starting to come through on the other side. What I'm going to do is reverse it, and then the exact same spot, I'm going to start to burrow with hardly any pressure at all, and I've worked my way through. I haven't poked my table, I haven't poked myself. It's the fastest and easiest way to make a circle. So now I want to join these two pieces. I have the option of my pipe cleaners to use. You also have the wire to use. I had found some Ziplocs. I even found some screws that I can maybe, a nut and bolt that I can thread through and tighten with. So I'm not too sure what you have at home to join pieces, but it's another way to join pieces with ties.
Okay, I hope I've given you enough to work with and that you enjoy your projects.